Not bad with money. You pay your bills. You show up to work. You probably have some kind of savings account sitting somewhere earning, what, 3%? Maybe 4? And yet, at the end of every month, something does not add up. You are moving, but you are not moving forward. The number in your account does not grow the way it should for someone doing everything right. Here is what nobody tells you. The system was not designed to make you wealthy. It was designed to make you feel like you are trying while quietly keeping you exactly where you are. And the most expensive part? You cannot see it happening. Because the mistakes that drain the most money from ordinary people are not the obvious ones. They are not the lattes. They are not the impulse buys. They are structural, they are invisible, and they are running right now in the background of your financial life, like software you never agreed to install. This video is about those. Let us start with a number. The average American household earns roughly $76,000 a year. Over a 40-year working life, that is about $3 million passing through their hands. $3 million. And yet, the median retirement savings for Americans near retirement age sits somewhere around $87,000. That gap is not bad luck. That is a system working exactly as intended. Because here's the thing about money. It does not disappear. It moves. Every dollar that leaves your hands goes somewhere. To someone. And if you are not paying close attention to the architecture of where it goes, you are almost certainly funding someone else's retirement while struggling to build your own. We are talking about 4 specific mechanisms today. 4 quiet, almost boring ways that money is being extracted from people who think they are being responsible. And the uncomfortable part is that the more responsible you try to be, the more exposed you actually are to some of them. Let us walk through it. The first one is inflation. And before you tune out because you have heard this word 1,000 times, stay with me. Because most people understand inflation wrong. They think it is a news story, a quarterly statistic, something that happens to prices at the grocery store. They do not think of it as a tax on patience. Here is what it actually is. Every dollar sitting still is losing value. Not dramatically, not all at once. Just quietly every single day at a rate of roughly 2 to 3% per year under normal conditions, and considerably more during the spikes we have seen in recent years. So take your emergency fund. That's $6,000 sitting in a standard savings account, earning 0.5% interest. Inflation is running at 3%. You are losing 2.5% of that money's purchasing power every year. You are not saving. You are slowly bleeding. In 10 years, that $6,000 will buy what $4,500 buys today. You did nothing wrong. You did not spend it. You were responsible. And you still lost $1,500 in real terms. This is not a crisis. It is a slow drain. And slow drains are the most dangerous kind because they never trigger an alarm. The second one is lifestyle inflation, and it is the reason raises feel like raises for about 3 weeks. Here is how it works. You earn more. You spend more. Not recklessly, reasonably. You upgrade the apartment because you can afford it now. You get the nicer car because your commute is brutal and you have earned it. You eat out a little more because you are busy and you are not going to feel guilty about a $40 dinner. None of these things are irrational. Every single one of them makes sense in isolation. But your savings rate stays the same, or it shrinks. And this is the part that almost nobody talks about. The danger of lifestyle inflation is not that you are living beyond your means. It is that you are living at your means. You are spending the entire raise, the entire bonus, the entire windfall. And because you never fell behind, it never registers as a problem. There is a concept in behavioral economics called hedonic adaptation. It basically says that humans are extraordinarily good at adjusting to new circumstances and then feeling neutral about them. The nicer apartment becomes normal, the car becomes normal, the dinners become normal, and then you need the next upgrade to feel the same level of satisfaction. It is a treadmill designed to consume income, and the faster you run, the faster it spins. The third mistake is the one that makes finance professionals quietly wince. It is the psychology of round numbers. Studies consistently show that people mentally account for money in chunks. They pay off a credit card and feel like they have won. They hit a savings milestone and relax a little. They see their net worth cross a nice round figure and feel for a moment secure. The problem is that financial progress is not linear, and security is not a number on a dashboard. It is a rate. It is momentum. Here is the uncomfortable math. If you invest $500 a month starting at 25 and you earn an average market return of 7% annually, you will have roughly $1.3 million by 65. That is not a secret. That is compound interest doing what it does. But if you wait until 35 to start, same $500, same return. You end up with about $640,000. You did not lose 40 years of contributions. You lost half the money. 10 years of delay cut the outcome almost in half. People understand this intellectually. Almost nobody acts on it because the cost of delay is invisible today. The pain arrives 30 years later, and the human brain is not built to feel 30-year consequences. It is built to feel next month. The financial industry knows this, which is why the most important advice, the start early stuff, gets the least attention. Boring does not sell products. The fourth mistake is the one that ties all the others together, and it is the most counterintuitive. It is the cost of safety. Most people, when they think about financial risk, think about losing money. They avoid volatile investments. They keep large amounts in savings accounts. They choose the safe option almost every time, and they feel responsible for doing so. But here is what that safety actually costs. The S&P 500, the index of the 500 largest companies in the United States, has returned an average of roughly 10% per year over the last century. Adjusted for inflation, that is about 7% in real terms. A savings account returns 0.5%. Maybe 1, sometimes 2 if you hunt for the right high-yield account. That gap, compounded over decades, is not a small difference in outcomes. It is the difference between retiring comfortably and retiring afraid. The safe choice, repeated consistently over a lifetime, is frequently the most expensive choice. Risk is not a personality flaw. Avoiding risk entirely is its own form of financial recklessness. The system sells you safety, but safety has a price tag. It just does not show up on the receipt. So zoom out for a second and look at all 4 of these together. Inflation quietly erodes idle money. Lifestyle inflation absorbs every raise before it can compound. Delay costs more than almost any investment mistake you could make. And the instinct to stay safe often guarantees a slow, polite version of financial failure. None of these are dramatic. None of them feel like emergencies. That is the entire point. The financial system is not hostile. It is indifferent. And indifference at scale, over time, produces outcomes that look almost exactly like poverty, just with better furniture and a newer phone. The people who build real wealth over a lifetime are not smarter. They are not luckier in most cases. They are just playing by a slightly different set of rules. Rules that account for the invisible costs, the behavioral traps, the quiet math running in the background. Here is what I keep coming back to. We live in a time with more access to financial information than any generation in history. More podcasts, more calculators, more videos, more tools. And household wealth inequality is widening, not narrowing, which suggests the problem was never information. So the real question is not what you know. It is what you are doing with what you know. And more specifically, what invisible rule you are still following that someone else wrote for you a long time ago. That answer is different for everyone, but it is worth sitting with. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.